the character of who Boaz was and what that truly means for women who are looking to get married. I feel like I feel like I'm entering strong. There's so many dimensions to the story of Ruth now that I'm older that I did not see as a child. This is a redemptive story. A redemptive story for a woman and a man, a redemptive story of the love of God, but a redemptive story for David too, because his lineage needed to be proven that he was the true heir to the throne of being an Israelite king, because his lineage had like those 12 generations that were of Jews. But let's talk about Boaz. In the book of Ruth, I'm opening my Bible here, and I'm going to start from Ruth meets Boaz. That is chapter 2, right? Number 1, when Boaz notices that there is a woman in the field who is picking up after these men who have finished harvesting, right? The first thing that Boaz does is he asks about her. He asks the foreman. He asks the foreman of his harvesters, "Whose young woman is that?" And the foreman replied, "She's the Moabitess who came back from Moab with Naomi." And she said, "Please let me glean and gather among the sheaves behind the harvesters." And then she went into the field and worked steadily all morning. This is what the foreman is telling Boaz. And I remember what I understood from this is that Boaz was interested. He was interested. He may have not been romantically interested in Ruth, but he was interested in knowing who she was. And after they tell him these things, like, "Oh, cool, 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 cool," and then he went to Ruth. He made contact with Ruth. It's the one. Another part that really shows that he's interested in her is from Ruth chapter 2, from verse 11 to verse 12. And like, this is when he's like telling her, "You babe, I know you. I've heard all about you." He says, "I've been told about what you have done for your mother-in-law since the death of your husband, how you left your father and your mother and your homeland and came to live with a people you did not know before. May the Lord repay you for what you've done. May he richly reward you. May you be richly rewarded by the Lord." And she also says, "May I continue to find favor in your eyes." And when I was reading this, I just felt like God was trying to show that when someone is interested in you, they'll take the time to find out who exactly you are. The other thing that I feel like God was showing me about Boaz was that he made quality time for Ruth. When it was time for lunch, he called her. He said, "Come over here." That is in verse 14. At mealtime, Boaz said to her, "Come over here, have some bread and dip it in the wine vinegar." Of course, there are two things there. There is one, his interest in spending time with her, but there's also him just being mindful